Good morning, guys. It looks like we have a few people here on YouTube Live so far. I'm just waiting a few more minutes. I think about 5 more minutes and then we'll get started. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to go ahead now and get started on the pre-market watch list. So this should be pretty quick here. There's not too many new gappers to go over. We do have NRSN, which has a pretty decent gap so far. Really nice multi-day breakout on this one. We were actually watching this one a few days ago when it was in play. Held up pretty well, and now we're getting this spike. So as of right now, this is probably one of the main watches. We have a few more gappers, CANF. HTGM is also popping up. We were watching this one yesterday. I didn't take any trades on this one. It was pretty choppy, but I did notice it kind of popping up on volume. So that's another one to keep on watch if we can push back towards $1. We have TRVI, which pretty much made a big move already, broke this 270 support. So that was a nice little short opportunity for this pullback. But if this holds and we can reclaim VWAP again, I definitely want to keep an eye on TRVI. I'm definitely not interested in a short at this point. You know, it already broke down to 250. So for me to short it down here, it would definitely be a chase. This is kind of a level on the daily as well, 250, 260 area. So I wouldn't want to chase this. Yes, it could reject and then maybe pull back a little bit further. But I'm just going to set a price alert towards 270 and we'll see if this can build back up over that key level again. We have a few others from yesterday that we were watching. AGRX, this was a really nice one yesterday. I had a lot of trades on this one on this front side move. So I'm still watching that and a few others. So that's pretty much the main watch right now. I'm going to quickly go over the watch list that I made last night. So going back to the watch list from yesterday, the first one on there was AGRX. So this one had that pretty nice breakout yesterday. We're getting a gap down this morning though. So it's looking pretty bearish at the moment on AGRX. For me to be really interested in this one on the long side at all, I would probably want to see it, at least building back up over that 230 support, which was kind of the VWAP from yesterday. So if this does hold and it kind of pops back up and traps shorts again, I'll definitely be watching it in this area if it reclaims. But for right now, I'm just going to assume it's probably going to be choppy and maybe even fade lower. Anyone who bought at this point over 230 has to deal with this gap down. So we'll have to see how this one reacts, but right now it's definitely a little bit more bearish. We have CEAD popping up on the scans as well. This one kind of has an interesting daily, so maybe keep this on watch if it keeps getting volume. Let's see. We're going back to the watch list really quickly. ENDP was the next one. I had a few trades on this one yesterday as well. I really like the daily chart setup for the long. It's a really sold off chart. We have some resistance, towards $1, and we have this gap on the daily chart all the way to $2. NRSN is actually holding up really well also. We got this breakout, this pullback, and now we're starting to build back up over 315. So if this holds solid support here towards 315, 310 area, we might get another breakout here on NRSN. Keep an eye out for that potentially. We have 330 was the previous high, which we just tested earlier. So hopefully this one can hold up and give that multi-day breakout. But going back to ENDP really quickly. So on the watch list, I put that this 70 to 75 cents was pretty much the key level for me. If that was holding, I'd keep an open bias. And we did get a move here in pre-market all the way to almost $1. So the move that I was looking for, this was basically the breakout that I wanted to be in, but it just happened in pre-market. So, already pulling back. So kind of short biased on this one at this point, unless it makes a big recovery over time back over that 80-cent level. So we'll see how this one reacts, but I don't have high hopes on this one or high expectations on this one at this point. I feel like it kind of already made its move. XAIR, I noticed this one gapping up, but right now there's not a lot of volume. Maybe I'll just set a price alert in case it pops up later on. And then we do have some stocks on our secondary list. IFRX is kind of curling up, so just something to watch if we get decent volume on this one. CRNT, same kind of thing. Just something I'll watch if it pops up on the scans. MSPR, FEMY. Also, we've had a lot of these cheaper stocks making pretty nice moves lately. Like this one from 40 cents all the way to $1.50 and back down. EVFM. So I'm definitely gonna keep my eye out and keep scanning for these lower or cheaper stocks. Hopefully we get a lot more of these runners, similar to like EVFM and this other one that I mentioned, ENDP. Similar to these ones. Alright guys, so we're almost done with the watch list. That was pretty much everything from my watch list from last night. Just going over the gappers now. Let's just see if there's anything that I might have missed. So TRVI was the main one that I mentioned. The short really was the break of this support right here. So this is probably going to end up fading lower if I had to guess. Yeah, we had that level towards 260, 250. But like I said, if it reclaims towards VWAP, I definitely keep an eye on it. I just think it's probably unlikely. NXTP already kind of faded down. CANF. So this one has made pretty big moves in the past. You can see these big spikes on the daily chart. So if this one ends up holding this support and reclaiming VWAP with a lot of volume, I'll keep an eye on this one. Right now, it's pretty much just trading sideways though. So it would probably need a lot of volume. HTGM is still pushing towards $1 now. So I'm really hoping on this one that we can hold 95 cents and then break yesterday's highs. It's pretty sold off like on the daily chart. Pretty big downtrend there. A lot of support at 50 cents. So hopefully this one does break out. I'll definitely be watching it, and then if it makes a really big move, I would also be interested in a short later on. But yeah, so far I haven't made any trades in pre-market. My plan today is just to wait until a little bit after the open and then kind of go from there. NRSN is still pretty choppy here. I wanted to see it kind of build over this level, but instead we just got a rejection. But I still have an open bias on this one as long as it's holding above $3 for now. Going into the open. CEAD is still kind of pushing up slowly here. Like I said earlier, this one has kind of an interesting daily chart. So that's another one to keep on watch if we get some decent volume. And the float, I believe, is around 7 million, it looks like. So also not a bad float. Alright guys, so it looks like we have about 4 minutes until the market opens. I think I pretty much went over everything. HTGM is pushing towards yesterday's highs. So that's really going to be my focus going into the open. TRVI if this reclaims. HTGM. CEAD. Those are probably my top 3 going into the open. Along with NRSN, as long as we can build above $3. So that's kind of the plan going into the open. One more thing we'll go over and look at really quick is SPY. So for the overall market, what I was looking at yesterday was kind of this level on the daily chart, this support right here from this gap fill. So the low of this candle was around like 390 right here. So yesterday what I was thinking on this one is if 390 held at the open, I was going to look for calls. And that's pretty much what happened. We got a lot of support right here and then just really strong tape on the open. I think I got a call around here and then quickly scalped it. And then it ended up just fading for the rest of the day. So really big short opportunity there yesterday. We pulled back all the way to 380s. So we definitely have room to pull back further. This 373 area is pretty big. And then we have that low towards 360s. I'm going to go ahead and mark the pre-market highs and lows. So overall, I'm more short biased right now on SPY, but it made such a big move. Ideally, we can hold this 381 area and give a little bounce. And then, you know, if that rejects and then forms a lower high, you know, I might look for puts to fade this lower towards these levels, towards like 376, 373, if it really does stay heavy and unwind. So I'll just keep an open bias for now. You know, if this 381 area holds, we can potentially look for a break of the pre-market highs above 382 for maybe a little bounce back play or a scalp. But if it rejects and forms a short setup later on, I'm also open to getting puts on SPY. So that is pretty much everything. I hope that kind of helps you guys out today. I'm going to be on YouTube Live for a little bit longer. I'll let you guys know if there's anything popping up on the scans or any new stocks, but there's the bell. Let's see how NRSN reacts. So far, TRVI is trying to hold off this 250 level. Little rejection there, but I'll keep an eye on that. NRSN so far feeling a little bit heavy, but it is trying to hold 3. AGRX would be interesting if it can get back over that 220 level potentially. Nice little push there on HTGM. Just a heads up, guys, if you're using Thinkorswim today, maybe it's because it's the open, but just be cautious because it is lagging behind my DAS Pro. But anyways, NRSN, as you can see, it did hold 3. It's trying to push. TRVI is also still trying to hold this 250 level. Wow. SPY really sold off here at the open. We're right at these pre-market lows already. So not looking good on SPY. When it comes to the bigger picture right now. That was a really nice bounce though that we got, you know, from 360 all the way to 390s the last basically week. NRSN getting a little push there. TRVI getting a little push as well. IMTE is popping up. So guys, right now I haven't taken any trades yet. I'm just really trying to be patient. I'm not really super convinced on NRSN. You see how kind of choppy it is. So a lot of these, if you get a nice push, you got to almost scalp into it on some of these just to kind of protect yourself. This is pretty choppy right now. TRVI. SPY so far is trying to bounce off that pre-market low. TRVI rejected VWAP. I wasn't really convinced on this one just because we have that 270 resistance, and as you can see, we did reject into that level. So for me to really consider a long on that one, like I said before, I'd want that key level to really reclaim as support instead of just buying into that level. IMTE, so far from 290 all the way to 370. Really beaten up on the daily chart, IMTE. TRVI, nice push. So now I want to see if we can get a pullback. That's more convincing that shorts are probably more trapped. So now I want to see if we can hold this 265 area on a little pullback and then potentially get another breakout towards those pre-market highs. So let's see how this reacts. You definitely want to be careful though. I am hoping for a pullback first. And then I want to kind of see how it reacts after that. HTGM is still pushing up. As you can see, it did hold yesterday's high when it pulled back earlier. So 110 is kind of the key level there. Alright, so far TRVI held VWAP on that pullback. Now I want to see if we can potentially get a push towards 290. But if it goes below VWAP, that's pretty much where I'd stop out. Hopefully we can get this 280 breakout to sell into. But let's give it a few minutes. So far TRVI, just a lot of selling pressure. I was hoping for a breakout of 280 for a quick rip. But as you can see, it just feels really heavy pulling back into VWAP. It's still not completely over. If this forms a lower high and breaks under 260, then I definitely would not be interested in longs. But if it holds 260 and curls back up again with strong tape, then I'm still keeping an eye on TRVI. But yeah, right now it's not super convincing on the tape. We do have CBIO, which is pushing above 180. That might be something to watch. HTGM is still holding that 110 level, which was the yesterday's highs. IMTE, we can keep on watch. It's trying to break out above this 340 for now. HTGM is retesting the highs. See if we can break out through here. And TRVI is trying to curl back up, so keep an eye on that one. I think shorts are trapped on TRVI, so let's see if we can get this squeeze over 280 now. Still probably needs to trade sideways for a little bit over 270, but if we do have enough shorts trapped here, we should just get a squeeze right over 280, hopefully. But let's see how it reacts here. So far it looks pretty strong. HTGM. Alright guys, so far pretty slow morning for me when it comes to small caps. Not really too many plays that I'm crazy about at the moment. You know, TRVI, I was hoping that key 270 could turn into support, but every time we got there, just a big seller, just heavy tape, and it looks like we're probably going to end up forming a lower high here and flushing even lower if this 250 breaks. There's definitely room to fade. So I'm a lot more short biased after this double top and breakdown. CVIO still could try to break out here above 180s if we can get enough volume. But for the most part, I'm just scanning for other stocks. Hopefully we get some other plays to pop up. IMTE, even that one you can see is really choppy. Just not a lot of follow through. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube live stream. If you're in the private Discord room, I am going to go on the Discord voice channel and screen share, so I'll keep you guys updated in there. For anyone interested in joining that, we do have a link in the description if you want to join the private Discord, where you get the scans, you get the watch list, commentary, everything in real time. So the links for that are in the description, and I hope that helped you guys out a little bit. I'm going to keep scanning in the private room, and hopefully we can get more plays. But yeah, for now, I would just keep an eye on HTGM in case that pushes higher. CBIO. If you're looking for shorts, TRVI is probably the one for today that's going to fade. SPY, you know, it did reclaim that pre-market low, so it's looking a little bit better. It might actually get a breakout here on SPY. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you guys on the next stream.